Hi everyone, it's Monday night, the 3rd of August and day 216 of Living the Dream. And here's my power statement I had for today. Start making Zoom video recordings of me trying to do the things that my beginner entrepreneurs are probably going to face themselves. I put together a list of the things I think will be helpful for them to watch and learn how I fix things and then succeeded with them. So let me find that right here. The big list right here. I think there's 9. There's 9 little videos I'm going to do. I started to record some videos for my beginner entrepreneurs to view on subjects that might affect them when they start doing the things that I have had to try to figure out on my own. For example, making a thumbnail pick from my YouTube ad. Before I got into that process, I didn't know much of it, so this is going to be very helpful. Anyhow, before I get into all of that, here's my to-do list right here. Okay. A lot of yellow ones. It's getting longer there. It's interesting. My most important task I had for today was to start recording Zoom videos on the problems I had, like I said, and what I learned on how to fix them. I started with the video on how I wondered how the video ads on my YouTube picture that you see on ads on the screen when you go in there, I wondered how I could put that kind of a picture in front of my beginning video. And I didn't know anything about that. And so I wanted one of those pictures on my YouTube ad. So that was a task. So I did a Zoom video on this topic because I figured it out. And I talked about how those were done and how I discovered a couple really good videos that were tutorials on this subject that really helped me. And it showed me the process of how I made mine. It's now up on YouTube's channel. I call it How I Figured Out How to Do Thumbnails for my videos. It's on my YouTube channel. My fun task for today was to build out, a logo in Canva, C-A-N-V-A. I need to record a video on this as well, and so that's what I did. I put it up onto my YouTube channel as well, and I called it How I Built My Logo in Canva. My exciting task for today, was to start working with Fahad on getting my website's homepage ready for when I launch my first ad. I want to have a form on it so that it would catch any folks who might end up going to livingthedreamcoaching.com, which is my homepage, and want to start doing something. And I was quite excited about getting that done. Anyway, there's other bunch of things here I got done today. So, bam, that list was bigger, but I got it done. Anyway, let me go through my normal end-of-the-day success routine questions. Corey Caesar said this: get honest with yourself, Marty. What didn't go well today, or what could you have done better today? Did you wake up early and start strong? Check. Did you start your morning with power? Check. Were you productive throughout your day? You just saw the list. When you go on my YouTube, you'll see that and go to www.livingthedream.com, and you're going to see what's happening there. Did you get the most important things done today? Did you move your goals forward? Yes. Check. How about the time with Kathleen? Did you show up as the person you wanted to be and were present for her? You had a great time? Absolutely. It was fantastic. For a Monday, off to a great start. In summary of these get honest with yourself questions, I asked was I honest with myself? And if so, what promises did I make? Did I keep them? Well, like every morning for the past 215 days, I committed to get those videos started and then load them up on my Google Drive so that my focus group participants can watch them. And if they think that they're good and helpful to a beginner entrepreneur, I'm going to add them to my website. So the next question is, what movies did you watch during your mindfulness time this morning, Marty? Did you make time for them? And were there any new movies that you saw today? Well, besides my must-see TV favorite 5 movies, my 2 amigos couldn't wait to launch several instant pre-play movie clips up onto the screen of my mind today. I tell you what, they were all about my website and how it's going to look, and there was one about my clients watching how to design and add the thumbnail pic to their own YouTube video ad, and another one is how I did my logo using Canva, step by step by step, and showing an example of it. It's been a fun day of going to the movies. Next is, what thing would make all the difference going forward? Another way to say this is, what's the one thing you'd want to get done tomorrow, even if the day goes sideways getting it done, you'd still feel like you've accomplished something great and were successful. What would that one thing be? Now put it into your power statement so you can start the day strong tomorrow. Well, I will remember to think in terms of making Zoom video recordings of the many projects and tasks that a beginner entrepreneur client would want to know how to do them and what mistakes to avoid, and if they did them, how to figure them out. Well, I think providing the pathology to my success via short Zoom video tutorials is something I'll do from now on continually, and it'll become one of the key benefits, I think, of my coaching services for my beginner entrepreneurs. Next, I want to answer the question I came up with: were there any mistakes or failures I had that I made today that I can turn into a tool of success going forward? I would have to say yes to this question today. I say yes because I forgot to stop and make a short Zoom video recording of a test I did today, and I should have recorded it right from the thought process step to the finished product. I'm talking about how I did my logo that I'm now using. I saved myself $150 doing it on my own, but instead of doing it after the fact, I should have talked about when that question came and I started going, I should have recorded it in Zoom, learning and mistaking and going through that process so they knew how to do it. So anyhow, I did it. I'm going to put it up on the site, like I said, on Google Docs so that they can see on my Google Drive and see what I got done. The next question is, what was your biggest success today, Marty? In other words, what did you do well today? Well, my biggest success today was connecting up with Fahad and having him get my website's homepage up with the right picture and my logo on it that I designed and the form that I talked about. So exciting. The next step in my end of the day success routine is to rate my day's effort. And so I gave today a 10. I gave it a 10 because I not only worked at the speed of 10 today, but I got a ton of important tasks done so that several pieces of my dream came through the portal of my mind into the world of the physical. So bam, done. In fact, I have to show you. Here's where some of the other background ones. I got all of these done. So that's what I'm talking about. Another page of to-dos. Busy day. Okay, I want to end the day strong. Here's what I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for the principle that says you are an extremely valuable, worthy, significant person, even though your present circumstances may have you feeling otherwise. Once again, this brings into focus the C.T. Farr model, doesn't it? Circumstance, thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. We cannot control circumstances. That's the dotted line above the dotted line. It is our thoughts that controls us and our feelings, which produces the actions we take, and they bring about the results of those actions. So you can change the thoughts you're having about your circumstances, and they will change your feelings, right? The only event in the entire world you can control is what you are thinking. And they produce feelings you experience at the present instant. But that isn't enough. That is all you need to be able to, that is all you need to be able to control. That's the only thing you can control. Your thoughts. Have you ever driven your car with the brakes on? I suppose that most of us have done this at one time or another in our life, and before we know it, my brakes been on the whole time. This reminds me of how many of us, without realizing it or intending to do so, are moving through life with our brakes partly on. The horsepower is there, but the vast areas of potential are blocked, even bottled up and restricted from effective application. Let me ask you this question. What do you think of yourself? Do you like the person you think you are? As you can see, we're still dealing with our mind, our thoughts. If your self-esteem, the image of how you see yourself, is on the low side of the scale, then you are probably driving with your brakes on, and that's not allowed anymore going forward. Period. The next thing I'm grateful for, the law is called the pursuit of excellence. It says that high self-esteem is a universal common denominator of excellence, a releasing mechanism that allows your potential to flow more easily and freely. How do you feel about your worthiness and importance as a human being? That feeling, your level of self-esteem, is one of the most fundamental and vital attitude structures in your reality system. Over our life so far, each of us have written a story about ourselves, and we believe it. We have developed a pattern of truth, which I call mapping, about our value as part of our self-image, and we tend to behave in a manner that is consistent with that attitude or that mapping. Some of the signals we received over our lifetime were very positive, loving, encouraging, and reinforcing. Things like, I love you. You're a great kid. I'm glad you're part of our family. Yet on the other hand, some of the messages from those very important people in your childhood and throughout your life may not have been so positive. Pick up your feet, clumsy. Why did you do that, you stupid? What? That's a stupid thing to do? The takeaway I want you to get from these examples is the fact that it wasn't just the kind of messages you received, but what you did with those messages that counted the most. It wasn't that those other people, those so-called experts, those authority figures said to you that counted. nearly so much as what you were thinking and feeling within yourself about what you were perceiving about yourself. That is what built your level of self-esteem, and mine too. Your own unique personal feeling of worthiness was stated in those early years with your own programming, your own mapping process. You have been building and revisiting it ever since you were conscious level of thoughts and feelings about yourself. Your present level of self-esteem is the cumulative result of the positive and negative rocks which your thoughts and feelings have deposited on the scale since you were born. It's easy to see how that kind of reality applies the brakes to a person's effective, doesn't it? Understanding this truth and then doing something to rewrite our stories for the better and putting ourselves on a new path of mapping is how we get on the path of living the dream. In other words, if you can accept the possibility, it's possible. If you can accept the possibility, if you can believe it's possible that you may genuinely be a very worthy, valuable human being, then might it not be valuable to take some deliberate action steps to moving in the direction of greater self-acceptance, a more honest feeling of self-worth? Just know that there are routines, methods, techniques, whatever you want to call them, that you can put into action right away. One the morning, one the day routine, and the day success routine that will start to take you in that direction right now. That too is part of living the dream. Next, I'm grateful for Zig Ziglar, who said, success means doing the best we can with what we have. Success means doing the best we can with what we have. Success is the doing, not the getting. In the trying, not the triumph. Success is personal standard, reaching for the highest that is in us, becoming all that we can be. There's two words I want you to consider as you reflect on your self-image and self-esteem. They are next time. Next time. When something goes badly, recognize what has happened. Acknowledge an error. And then shift into the thought about how you will handle that kind of situation should it ever happen again next time. Just know that there is a big difference between having failed and being a failure. There's a difference between having done something badly and being bad. Oh, that's such a powerful comment. In short, when you are inclined or tempted to hang a negative label on yourself, there is another useful phrase which can help you to remind yourself of the fact that you are constantly changing. And so you are going to do and be better next time. This too defines living the dream. Hello. Isn't that right? Bam! So ends another day on my journey to business alignment. Isn't it living the dream fantastic? Anyway, I'll be right back here tomorrow night doing this same thing, sitting here, sharing my feelings, and sharing another day in the life of Coach B. I wish you continued success. Goodbye.